It was the day of 6 August when the world got a great hit, and the headline was, US dropped atomic bomb on Japan. The Japan was destroyed, and no signs of life would be imagined there. In World War I, Japan generally distanced itself from the conflict. While the great nations of Europe were blowing themselves to bits, the Japanese expanded their economy through shipping and trade and strengthened its foothold in China and the Pacific and its dominance in Asia. Japan defeated China in 1895 and Russia in 1905 in battles over who should dominate Korea. Japan joined the Allies against Germany in 1914 to 1918 in a struggle to control a portion of China to conquer a land area rich in raw materials. Since the mid-19th century, when the Tokugawa government first opened the country to Western commerce and influence, Japan has gone through two periods of economic development. The first began in earnest in 1868 and extended through World War II. The second began in 1945 and continued into mid-1990s. On 6 and 9 August 1945, the United States detonated 2 atomic bombs over the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, respectively. The bombings killed between 129,000 and 226,000 people, most of whom were civilians, and remain the only use of nuclear weapons in an armed conflict. The bombs wiped out around 90% of the cities, and the toll included those who died as a result of radiation exposure. The discovery of nuclear fission in 1938 made the development of an atomic bomb a theoretical possibility. Fears that a German atomic bomb project would develop atomic weapons first, especially among scientists who were refugees from Nazi Germany and other fascist countries, were expressed in the Einstein-Szilard letter to Roosevelt in 1939. This prompted preliminary research in the United States in late 1939. Progress was slow until the arrival of the British Maud Committee report in late 1941, which indicated that only 5 to 10 kilograms of isotopically pure uranium-235 were needed for a bomb instead of tons of natural uranium and a neutron moderator like heavy water. Robert Oppenheimer was an American theoretical physicist. During the Manhattan Project, Oppenheimer was director of the Los Alamos Laboratory and responsible for the research and design of an atomic bomb. He is often known as the father of the atomic bomb. The Target Committee nominated 5 targets. First one was Kokura no Kitakyushu, the site of one of Japan's largest munitions plants. The second one is Hiroshima, an embarkation port and industrial center. That was the site of a major military headquarters. Yokohama, an urban center for aircraft manufacture, machine tools, docks, electrical equipment and oil refineries, was the third one. Fourth one is Niigata, a port with industrial facilities including steel and aluminum plants and an oil refinery. And last and fifth one is Kyoto, a major industrial center. The target selection was subject to the following criteria. The target was larger than 4.8 kilometers in diameter and was an important target in a large city. The blast wave would create effective damage. The target was unlikely to be attacked by August 1945. Hiroshima was described as an important army depot and port of embarkation in the middle of an urban industrial area. It is a good radar target, and it is such a size that a large part of the city could be extensively damaged. There are adjacent hills which are likely to produce a focusing effect, which would considerably increase the blast damage. Due to rivers, it is not a good incendiary target. The Target Committee stated that it was agreed that psychological factors in the target selection were of great importance. Hiroshima was the first military target of a nuclear weapon in history. This occurred on August 6, 1945 in the Pacific Theater of World War II at 8:15 a.m. when the United States Army Air Forces dropped the atomic bomb Little Boy on the city. Almost 63% of the buildings in Hiroshima were completely destroyed and many more were damaged. In total, 92% of the structures in the city were either destroyed or damaged by blast and fire. Estimates of total deaths in Hiroshima have generally ranged between 1 lakh to 1,80,000 out of a population of 3,50,000. The blast wave shattered windows for a distance of 10 miles and was felt as far away as 37 miles. Over two-thirds of Hiroshima's buildings were demolished. The hundreds of fires, ignited by the thermal pulse, combined to produce a firestorm that incinerated everything within about 4.4 miles of ground zero. After the second atomic bomb was dropped, Japan surrendered and left a large mess to clean up throughout the Pacific theater. To help aid in the process, the United States set up a form of government in Hiroshima to help rebuild the city and give jobs to the people who were struggling to find work. The radiation in Hiroshima and Nagasaki today is on a par with the extremely low levels of background radiation present anywhere on Earth. It has no effect on human bodies. The second bomb, named Fat Man, was dropped on Nagasaki from the boxcar at 11:02 a.m. on August 9, 1945. The bombing of the Japanese city of Nagasaki with the Fat Man plutonium bomb device on August 9, 1945, caused terrible human devastation and helped end World War II. The bomb weighed 10,000 pounds and had a diameter of 60 inches. The city of Nagasaki had been one of the largest seaports in southern Japan and was of great wartime importance because of its many and varied industries, including the production of ordnance, ships, military equipment, and other war materials. Over the next 200 years, as the rest of Japan was closed to the West, Nagasaki became a center for information on Western technology and science. When Nagasaki was fully reopened to the West in the 1850s, it became a major port for trade. It was a leading East Asian coaling station and served as the winter port of the Russian Asiatic Fleet until 1903. In the early 20th century, the city became a major shipbuilding center. It was this industry that led to Nagasaki's being chosen as a target for the second atomic bomb dropped on Japan by the United States in World War II. A slightly larger plutonium bomb exploded over Nagasaki 3 days later, leveled 6.7 square kilometers of the city, and killed 74,000 people by the end of 1945. Ground temperatures reached 4,000 degrees Celsius and radioactive rain poured down. Some have speculated that, in this timeline, Japan would have been split into a communist North Japan and a democratic South Japan, akin to West and East Germany. This would make Japan a major hotspot in the Cold War, with untold knock-on effects for world history. The terrain and smaller size of Nagasaki reduced the destruction of life and property as compared to that of the atomic bomb explosion over Hiroshima, although the bomb dropped on Nagasaki was significantly more powerful. If you liked the video, kindly like, subscribe to my channel and share.